Hi, I'm Maribeth Quinn, a mixed media collage artist, and if you've followed me for any time at all, you know that I really reflect a lot on how our internal experience affects our external work. I find it fascinating, and I've also found it to be the piece that is missing in most art instruction and conversations about art. So today, I thought that I would talk a little bit while I work on this painting right here about what I have found to be very true about what is at the bottom of creating confidence in the creative process. It's not as complex and mysterious as it might seem, but it's actually quite simple. What really sparked this idea to me is that I was working on this painting here. It's just a landscape, and I had this impulse to do the entire thing in paper, at least the initial layer. That's typically not the process that I'm working with at the moment. Usually I start with inks, and I do some paper, but I also do various layers of things. But I had this impulse, and I thought, well, I wonder what that would look like. So I'm going to try it. So that's what you see me doing here. I, with pencil, just drew out the different layers of landscape as it recedes into the distance and where I wanted different colors and shapes to be. So now I'm just taking some paper, homemade papers that I've made, and I'm gluing them to the surface. So what this makes me think of is that it really took me a while to get to this place to where I have an impulse to do something and I don't talk myself out of it. I just say, okay, there must be a reason that I had this thought, and I'm just going to give it a try. And that's what you see me doing here. I don't know where this is going. I may wind up in the end having it look very much like my other paintings right now, but I needed to try this for a reason, and I trust that. That is evidence to me that over the years I have grown confidence in the creative process. I know that it's worth it to follow impulses. The thing that I hear most from artists who take my classes are questions like, well, can I use that type of glue with paper? Or what if I used this certain mark making tool? Should I use that or another one? And my answer is always the same. Just try it. If you're wondering about it, just try it. And the reason that I say that is because I could tell people, and often do, what my experience has been, but that may not have anything to do with what they're trying to do with their work. And if you really want to learn something, even if it is a hard and fast rule, and I'm using air quotes here, you still want to try it because you'll understand why it's a rule if you try it. You won't be just following a rule, you will understand the reason behind it, and that will give you confidence. So for instance, even if you ask somebody a question, can I put acrylic paint over an oil pastel? Well, almost everyone would tell you, no, that's not a good idea. My answer to you is, try it and see what happens. Explore this topic and see for yourself what happens when you put acrylic paint over an oil pastel. There is no better learning that takes place than actually following your curiosities and your impulses. In other words, don't accept a rule where you could have actual experience and understanding. Even if somebody gives me an answer, I need to try it for myself because there is a reason that I'm wondering about it. You learn by doing. You grow that confidence by doing and by experiencing these things for yourself and understanding why something is a good idea or a bad idea. So here's where the painting is right now, and I'm not sure which way it's going to go, but I know it's going to go somewhere. And the only way I'll know where to go is to trust my gut, follow my impulses, and not be afraid of making a mess. Because even when you make a mess, you learn something, and that's the most important thing. So if you find that you are really craving some art instruction that doesn't exclude this internal part. So I have a number of classes and they all include this internal component alongside the building of techniques and skills. In later September, I'm going to start doing live painting sessions on YouTube a couple of times a month. So if you'd like to be notified, you can find that in the description below. My newest class, the Layered Landscape, Abstracting with Collage and Transparencies, is open now for enrollment, and you can find the link to do that in the description below. And as always, I thank you so much for watching this and for spending your precious time with me. It's always a pleasure.